I'm writer Mark Wooden, coming to you recorded from my bedroom, which you can tell by the white wall behind me. Welcome to Fantasy Island. I'm just playing. Seriously, though, welcome to another episode of Thoughts from the Shed. The Wooden Shed. Wooden Shed Creative. Right here. Wooden Shed Creative. That's me. Hello again, my dear listeners and viewers, be you on the podcast or be you on the tubes of yous. Today, I would like to talk to you about something that's very controversial at the time of Christmas. No, I'm not talking about that bullshit war on Christmas. Though, I would like to point out that if there was indeed a war on Christmas, as Fox would have us believe, they're losing. They got their tree burnt down. Scorched earth, buddy. First blood, first blood. What we're going to talk about is the question of whether Die Hard is a Christmas movie. As you can tell from the title, my answer is fuck yeah. But before we can just say yes it is and walk away from it, we must define what it means to be a Christmas movie so that we can see Die Hard as a Christmas movie. And yes, I probably just said Die Hard, but we're going to keep rolling. Now, when you think of a Christmas movie, instantly things like A Christmas Carol or Miracle on 34th Street or anything that the Hallmark Channel is showing between December 1st and December 31st, that's instantly what you go to as a Christmas movie. But I'm going to establish 3 criteria that you need to have in order to be a Christmas movie, show you that Die Hard has these things, and thus, where does that bring us? Oh yeah, baby. You know. Now let's look at those criteria. And did I say criteria? I meant elements. Elements, yeah, that's the ticket. We're gonna go with 3 elements of a Christmas movie. Number 1, the movie features Christmas tidings. Now, by Christmas tidings, I mean stuff like mistletoe, Christmas trees, Santa Claus, the typical trappings, tidings that you'd find at Christmas time, and only at Christmas time, unless some capitalist is running a Christmas in July sale. Number 2, the movie is a morality tale about family. Now, usually the movie will start off with either the single people or it'll be the about to be divorced couple, like in the case of Die Hard, but somehow the family, as we know it, at least the nuclear family as we know it, is fractured, and over the course of the film, they will miraculously, through the Christmas spirit, be brought back together. Number 3, the movie occurs at Christmas, and no other holiday would fit the plot. So what we'll look at, in particularly the case of Die Hard, is why it had to happen at Christmas. As with all Christmas movies, they have to happen at that time. You couldn't just pick up that plot and put it at Valentine's Day and expect to come out with the same movie. It just doesn't work, and we'll look into that. So first up, let's see if Die Hard follows the rule of having Christmas tidings. On the first page of the Die Hard screenplay by Jeb Stewart, with revisions by Stephen E. D'Souza, there's the mention of Christmas tinsel on the light poles. It's the frickin' first line of the damned screenplay after the title and opening slug. I'm thinking that, yeah, there's Christmas tidings in Die Hard. That's not enough for you? Okay, what about this? We have the famous Santa hat on Tony the Dead Terrorist with feet the size of McClane's sister, with a "Now I have a machine gun, ho ho ho" tag. Hello, Christmas tidings like a murderer. Side note, if they're ever thinking about rebooting Die Hard yet again, because I know 5 was so abysmal, it's kind of like, but if you do, I'm just throwing out there the whole, oh, McClane has a sister? Oh, what if McClane gets into some stuff and sis jumps in to help? I'm just saying, it'd be a perfect time to, I don't know, Charlize Theron, who said she'd love to do a Die Hard movie, maybe with a lesbian twist. She's the age. Bruce is the age. I'm just saying, Charlize, Bruce, call me. I got you. But back to the tidings, because we ain't done. Oh, we got more. Snow fell in Los Angeles. But wait, Mark, there was no snow in Die Hard. But producer Joel Silver had told writer Stewart he wants to see snow in LA. And yeah, it never snows. So what did Stewart, the wise guy, come up with? Maybe not literal snow, but a metaphor of snow. As you see in this clip, oh, look at how all those papers just fall down in the sky. What does that kind of look like? Los Angeles snow, bitches! Now, I said another part of tidings is music. And oh, this movie has Christmas music all over it. From this little ditty.
Hey, gotta work. So you got any Christmas music? This is Christmas music.
Later on, Al Powell singing a Christmas song, and even Hans, the terrorist, robber, slick, nice suited guy, gets in on the Christmas music action. And the movie ends with "Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow," which I already showed you it does. So hey, tidings, that's an element, and Die Hard's checking that box. So let's move on to the next element. Element number 2 is that the movie is a morality tale about family. Now, Die Hard is sold as an action movie where it pits the everyman cop against a bunch of terrorists.
Who said we were terrorists?
Okay, a bunch of thieves.
I am an exceptional thief.
Damn it, Hans. Okay, fine. The everyman cop against the exceptional thief. But see, that's what happens in the movie. What the movie's about, the theme. See, what happens will get the butts in the seats. What it's about is what will make audiences care about the movie, enjoy the movie even more, and talk about the movie long after they've walked out of the theater. That's why we're still talking about Die Hard right now. The theme, what it's about, is that relationship between John McClane and Holly Gennaro. Now, as we can see in Die Hard, in the scene after John and Holly have just had their conversation, and John's kind of boneheaded and runs into the ground, but then Holly has to leave to go talk to the troops. John knows he messed up. John knows that he should have been more supportive of his wife. He should have stuck by her, and he should have apologized right then and there and made everything right. But he didn't. Boneheaded. Macho man, I can't admit, blah, blah, blah. Can't be emotional, macho. But he knows he's wrong. But everything gets interrupted when the exceptional thieves come in, and now he has to go fight them, as well as be torn about will he get the chance to apologize and reconcile with his wife. So now McClane has to hide that emotional relationship to protect Holly from the exceptional thieves, just like he hid his frustration and longing to reconcile for those months that she was in LA kicking ass with her career and he was back on the streets of New York that he was used to. But inevitably, he's gonna have to confront both the physical and the emotional conflict that he's got going on. And like any good action movie will do, those two things are brought together in the same climactic moment. So that way it heightens not only the excitement of seeing how John and Hans Gruber will work out this final conflict. Come on, seriously, it's an 80s action movie. We know exactly how that shit was going to go down, but hey, play along. But what makes that, oh, we know what's going to happen, better is you've got that emotional heft of having to reconcile his emotional conflict at the same time as the physical one. And it just heightens it, makes it that much stronger. The power of a family being broken and coming back together is so powerful that they use it in movies all the time. I mean, if any indication of how powerful that trope was, why do you think Dominic Toretto has 9 going on 10 movies, huh? But he hasn't done a Christmas movie yet. Element number 3. The movie occurs at Christmas and no other holiday would fit the plot. Now, in order to see why Die Hard had to take place at Christmas, you need to get yourself into the mind of Hans Gruber, exceptional thief. No, I'm just kidding. I can't do Alan Rickman. I can't. I'm gonna. May he rest in peace. I ain't even gonna besmirch him to try to do it, but I can do a Fox Eurotrash bad accent to walk you through the mental thinkings of the great late Hans Gruber. And scene. To get into the vault at Nakatomi Plaza, I will need 3 things: the code to the first lock, privacy to drill through locks 2 through 6, and a miracle to shut down the power grid that controls the final lock. I can't do it locally. It has to be the entire city grid. The best time to do so would be when the building is mostly empty, and when you could fabricate an event that would require someone with authority to shut down that much of the grid. But what kind of event would draw that kind of power? A terrorist attack. Yes, a terrorist attack. Because you have to remember, Die Hard was roughly 1988. Actually, it was exactly 1988. And we were in the middle of the Reagan era. You had the troubles going on with the Irish terrorists in England. Reagan had come into office rescuing hostages from Iran. So now we made all these movies like Rambo, anything with Schwarzenegger, Chuck Norris, where we had to go relive the golden years and say, yes, look, we're America, rah, rah, rah. We can beat those terrorists. We can beat those terrorists. So yeah, you mentioned terrorists in the 80s. Shit's going to go down. I mean, for you youngins, imagine how we treated Muslims after 9/11. Unfairly treated Muslims, by the way, after 9/11. All of a sudden, every Hollywood picture, every Hollywood TV show that had to deal with terrorists, Muslims. Yeah, that's how we were with Eurotrash back then. Side note, along those same lines, after the events of 1/6, why aren't we getting a slew of movies with white supremacists as bad guys? I can't quite put my finger on it. But I digress. I apologize. Got pequeño political. I'm supposed to keep that on Twitter. You can just skip that part. I'll make a chapter, something like that. But now let's go back to the steps we need to take to rob this Nakatomi Plaza and why Christmas is a critical element in that plan. Let's go back to Hans, who might as well be Hanzo the Samurai Swordsmith, as badly as my accent is. Sorry, I apologize. Go. Now, the problem with the terrorist threat is they may think you're simply going to blow the building, in which case the cavalry will not arrive. No, you need something to spur the cavalry to arrive, and that something... hostages. Yes, hostages. The threat of blowing up a building with hostages in it will bring the police. But I have firepower to stop the police and to make it sure that there is no way they can rescue the hostages alone. Therefore, they will have to call a higher authority, an authority who could actually do the thing I need to do, and that's cut the city-wide grid.
You ask for miracles, dear. I give you the FBI.
We have to figure out how we will bring the hostages to us. The weekend is out. Not enough people because unfortunately no one cares about security guards, and it's too random that a higher up in the company would be around on the weekend. The week is out. Too many people moving about freely, harder to contain them in one spot. When is a time where there are people in the building, but mostly unoccupied, and those people, few who are there, are in one place? An office party. But when are office parties? Well, for the most part, people will go to party away from the office. They'll go to a bar, they'll go to a restaurant. That does not help us at Nakatomi Plaza. But the one time people do have an office party in the office. Christmas. So, we came up with 3 elements that would mark a movie as a Christmas movie. And as I have shown, Die Hard meets all 3 criteria. But hey, don't just take my word for it. In the Die Hard Ultimate Visual History book, John McTiernan's foreword, he says, by the way, John McTiernan, director of Die Hard and returning again for Die Hard with a Vengeance. That's why those 2 were the best 2. John McTiernan said that he'd always felt that the story should be somewhat like Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream, and that there's a festive occasion, but then something occurs during this festival that you take the princes and they become asses, and the asses become princes. Well, if you look at the police as the princes of the universe, and when this event happens on the festive occasion, they become idiots, but then the guy who you see should be an idiot, John McClane, becomes the prince, going so far as to rescue the princess from the evil dragon and saving the day and riding away into the sunset like the Western they patterned the movie after. And what is this festive occasion? McTiernan said, without a doubt, it had to be Christmas. Boom! Started as a Christmas movie. You know who else thinks that Die Hard is a Christmas movie? According to a 2017 press release from Dish TV, 1.3 million Dish subscribers watched Die Hard on Christmas Eve in 2016, with an additional 2.4 million watching it at some point during the holidays. Also, Die Hard was the 10th most watched movie on that Christmas Eve, ranking it above so-called Christmas movies Miracle on 34th Street, Home Alone, and The Santa Claus. So suck it, Culkin! Suck it, Alan! Ah, but you're an analytical person, not one of those creative types. What the hell are you watching this channel for anyway? This is for creative types. But hey, welcome. Welcome. We love you. Welcome. But my analytical types, I got something for you. Let's take a look at this chart. Stephen Follows used data to see if Die Hard is a Christmas movie. On this chart, he ranks all the mentions of Die Hard in Google searches between 2004 and 2021. Notice how the search trends spike at Christmas. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. It's a goddamn Bruce Willis movie.
Okay, yes, Die Hard is indeed a Bruce Willis movie. But I would posit to you, dear followers, that even though Die Hard was released in the summer of 1988 and not Christmas of 1988, it started as a Christmas movie from the inception of the script. It continued through the filmmaking process, and even though it was marketed as an action movie, it is indeed a Christmas movie. Now, when you're done watching more Thoughts from the Shed podcast episodes, bet you didn't think I was going to do that. You know I had to do it. You know I had to. And you're done reading all the fan fiction on WriterMarkWooden.com or ShadowDanceSaga.com, and you've looked over all the really cool jazzy character images and the organization stuff on Shadow Dance. You've opened all the presents. You ate all the food. You're getting a little tipsy on eggnog. You should just sit back, relax, subscribe to my newsletter. Subscribe to the newsletter or the podcast or the YouTube channel. And then once you're done with all of that, then throw in that epic Christmas movie that we love to call Die Hard. Oh yeah, and don't forget the Twinkies. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy overall holidays, and of course, Yippee-ki-yay! See ya.